So in my first video with the DJI NEO, we did our unboxing and first follow flight with the drone where I had it track me autonomously while I was on my one wheel. I provided no input to the drone whatsoever. In fact, I didn't even have a controller hooked up at the time. I just had the NEO connected directly to my phone, and from there, it was following me all by itself. Now, I think that that is the way a majority of the people that purchase NEO are going to use it. They're going to buy the drone only. They'll hook it right up to the Fly app on their phone. They'll have it follow them. They might use the controls right on the touchscreen. But many people won't even buy the remote controller. They'll let the drone do all the flying for itself. There is, however, a significant amount of people out there that want to fly this drone manually, that want to actually use a controller to fly it, and that's what we're gonna do here in this video today. So I figured a great playground for the NEO would be the Schuylkill River Trail extension they're building here in Philadelphia. Construction sites are like the perfect play area for an FPV drone, especially one of this size, being able to maneuver in and out of tight spaces. All right, so lucky me, just as soon as I was about to start flying, we have a train coming by here that'll make for a really cool subject to follow. Now, unfortunately, the train has seemed to stop here, but we'll still be able to go and zip around. Now, we are flying the drone manually here. So this drone is being flown with the FPV controller. And of course, I have the left stick tuned so that we can fly it in full manual. And I have some thoughts after a couple of flights here with the NEO, specifically about its size, because the size of the drone is kind of the root of, I don't want to say the problems, but the root of, how you actually use this drone. So I can understand why they didn't call it an Avata Mini, so to speak. It's way small. It's kind of like a little tiny whoop. And in my opinion, this is more so to just have fun, capture some cool videos, capture some cool shots, and post it onto Instagram, onto social media. I mean, for me, this is probably one of the most fun drones that you can fly. It's not gonna be the fastest. It sure isn't gonna give you the best image quality, but it is gonna give you something that is really fun to fly around. And I still stand by what I said in my first flight, how this is going to be one of DJI's most popular drones because of its price point and how easy it is to use. Now, I mean, for example, with the Avata 2, I came absolutely shredding down the new area they're building here of the Schuylkill River Trail, so over the actual boardwalk that they're building. But the NEO is not going to go as fast. Now, I can try to pitch the camera up more, so maybe if we try to pitch the camera up, let's say to 30 degrees, give it a little bit more kick, now we can move pretty quick. Now we're getting up to about 30 miles an hour with this little drone. I think another thing I'm excited for is flying this drone inside. I think this will be the perfect drone to fly indoors. The handling of it is nice too. I mean, for its size, woof. I will say that when you're pushing it, man, you do feel like you're just on the end of it. Just on the end of its speed there. I'm also sorry if I don't talk all that much, because when I'm flying in manual, the goggles bounce on my head, and it's really difficult when I talk to actually concentrate. So I'll tell you what, I am getting a lot more speed out of this drone than I expected. It is actually very, very nimble, especially when being flown outside. And I think that I continue to get impressed by DJI. Oh, there's another train right there. I think that I continue to get impressed by DJI's mini drones because they make them smaller and smaller, and they make them more and more capable. So I think there's gonna be a lot of people comparing this to the Avata. Hold on, let me try to go under the bridge. I think there's gonna be a lot of people trying to compare this to the Avata. There's gonna be people calling it the Avata Mini, which, I mean, trust me, I totally get it. But there's a reason it's called NEO. It's kind of in this new class of drone. Again, kind of like a tiny whoop. And I'll tell you what, the speed is pretty good. Now, we do have about 65% battery remaining. Let me go. We do have about 60% battery remaining. So I will tell you that this battery life is not going to be the best. It's not going to be what you'd expect from DJI's other drones, but that's really true for most of their FPV style drones that you fly in manual because you're pushing it so hard, and especially with a small aircraft, a small battery like this one. Oof. Let me see. Let's try to fly way up. We'll go way up, way up. I look so... That is a huge reason why flying a DJI FPV drone in manual is huge. You can go and press the brake button. You can stop if you get in trouble. Right here, we are just in such close proximity to the cars that got to be a little bit careful what we do here. Let's go ahead. Maybe we'll save the diving for the other tower over here. So to me, one of the biggest talking points of the Neo is its camera. For me, I did expect a little bit more out of the camera. I did expect just a little bit more out of the camera in terms of image quality wise. I think that looking at the live feed directly through the goggles, it looks great, it looks fine. But for some reason, when I got that initial video of the drone following me on my one wheel on the computer, I just wasn't super happy with the results of the camera. Now, this could be a result of pre-release firmware. This could be a result of a beta app that I'm using. There is always room to tweak the camera. But just seeing what DJI has done with their tiny cameras and then to see the camera on this drone, it kind of makes me think more so that, like, yeah, this is just a drone for fun. It's a drone that, like, in this case, I'd want to bring somewhere, fly around, and maybe get a couple of photos and videos to share on social media. Like I'm doing right now, it's also a ton of fun to fly, like in manual. Oh, this is cool. This is such an awesome spot to fly. I'll tell you what, even maybe more so than the Avata, this handles very, very well. And there's something about knowing that it is just such a small, tiny drone that almost makes it more fun. So look, me talking in here was just complete BS, honestly. I'm just trying to make the video not silent. I hope that the thing that's speaking for itself is the actual drone itself, like the actual performance of it, how it's handling up in terms of battery life, how the drone is faring in terms of connection. I mean, we've got 04 on this drone, so the connection is going to be great. I've got some people watching here. Whoop. I don't know. I mean, it's a totally different experience than really any other DJI drone. We're at the end of our battery here, but for those of you that might be wondering, for those of you that might be watching and saying, hey, I can't fly a drone in manual, well, for you, you can flip into sport mode like this and still get some pretty decent speed out of the drone. So now we're in the sport mode. We're flying basically like any other DJI drone. So this is how you'd fly, you know, like a Mavic, one of their mini drones or anything like that. So right now, if I were to just take my hands off the stick and hover, the drone sits there. Now, if you want the most speed, let's see, we got to hit cancel. I think I accidentally stopped recording. Got to learn the buttons a little bit better. I think if you want the most fun out of this drone though, you're going to get a set of goggles, you're going to get the FPV remote, and you're going to fly it in full manual. That's how you're going to get the most speed out of it. That's how you're going to get, in my opinion, the most fun out of it. And yeah, I have to say that I haven't done much manual flying with this drone. This is by far the best spot that I've been to, but I think that it's very pleasantly surprising at how much performance you can get from a little tiny whoop like the Neo. So overall, it's fun to fly manual like this. It's very fun to fly as a tracking drone, as a follow drone. I mean, really, this is one of DJI's most versatile drones because it has all those features built in. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any thoughts on the Neo, please let me know down below. It is really cool to have a drone this capable, that is this small and this quiet. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.